Hey everybody, and welcome to Synergy, the demo from Steam Next Fest, February 2024 edition. The game's out later this year, and it's something I've had my eye on since it was announced. But yeah, welcome to Synergy. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, do all that sort of good stuff, as I'm playing a lot of demos from Next Fest this week. And without further ado, let's dive into a new game. I'm going to play the tutorial No Man's Land. It's kind of the only thing we can do, so let's do it. Continue. For 2 generations, our community lived in the heart of an oasis, protected from the hazards of the outside world. But this oasis, like all the others, dried out and died. We were forced to leave our home. But all is not lost. Among the stretches of sand, we reached the shores of new lakes. Their waters, no matter how foul, promise to be life-saving if we can only treat them. Your citizens require clean water to survive. In order to obtain it, you must build a pontoon, so your citizens might draw toxic water from the lake using special canisters. All resources acquired must be stored in the water tower, cleaner toxic water, in the cellar, food and clean water, and the small warehouse, all other resources. Citizens don't fetch resources if they don't have nowhere. That was really southern of me. If they have nowhere to store them in. Move the camera to a water spot. Let's set down a pontoon, a retention basin, and a water tower. Open the construction menu. So there is the pontoon. There is the retention basin. And there is the water tower. You can make the time pass quicker if you'd like. So the pontoon is 60% done. You can click on it and see the progress on it. They're at 20. They're at 20. Okay. Pontoon completed. It's a nice looking pontoon, gotta say. Water tower is almost done. Retention basin is close to being done. I'm impressed with the water tower. It got built after. It got placed after I built the retention pond. Close the construction menu for the moment. And that step is completed. Alright, so let's pause. Let's bring down the speed. Pause the game for just a moment. Our water treatment structures won't man themselves. Let's assign citizens to the new posts. Well, we're missing that resource because we haven't gotten there yet. Alright, everyone's been assigned. We now have a water treatment infrastructure and the foundations for a healthy, sustainable irrigation system. However, the seasons come and go, severe and unpredictable. We risk disaster if we harvest only what is sufficient for immediate consumption. To keep our boating running smoothly, we need to store enough clean water to prepare for a drought. Obtaining clean water is crucial to the city's survival and development. Water's rarity forces you to balance the expanding population's growing demand with the means of supply and the climate conditions. Some climatic events, such as the dry season, can end up being fatal for an ill-prepared city, as the means of supplying water is slowed significantly or even stopped. Luckily, The upcoming climatic conditions can be consulted on your interface, displaying the weather for the current cycle and those to come. A cycle is a unit of time made up of 40 days. All this information can be found near the speed controls. Temperate, the most magnanimous climate we can hope for. Temperate and temperate. So we'll be good for the next 160 days at the very minimum to get set up here. So we're going to go ahead and build a second retention basin as the game wants us to do so. We'll just place it right next to the other one. We'll leave one room. That's why we're not doing anything. The game's paused. So we've got some construction happening. We don't have nothing happening at the retention basin. We're waiting on this right now. Let's add another citizen. Maybe get that efficiency down. Yeah, up to 75%. So now we're starting to get the retention going to get some clean water. That should, yeah, that net's 20. That's good. Let us assign a citizen. We need to build houses. I mean, that's something we got to worry about next, I'd say. So we need 10 more toxic water in there to start doing stuff. We're about to get another batch here in just a moment. So that should go to this one. In my opinion, it should go to this one, because then that can get both retention basins working at least somewhat good efficiency. $30 out of 40, and we got 20 out of 40 there, so we're actually starting to go through things now. We're almost through with the first batch of clean water. Almost there. Come on. I want to move on to the next piece of the tutorial. And there we are. We've obtained 20 clean water. It's now being placed into the water tower, and we are completed. The oasis inhabitants have been slept for too long under an open sky, separated from the ravages of the climate only by a stretch of canvas. We need to house them in permanent buildings. To do this, we'll need materials and warehouses to store them in. Alright, to construct buildings we need resources. They can be collected in several different ways. One simple method is by withdrawing resources on the map to collect ingredients. Use this method to collect rock from rock clusters. Begin to find the rock clusters on the map and withdraw them. We're going to withdraw a lot of rock clusters. So now we need a warehouse to store them in. Didn't mean to do that. Got a lot of rock clusters coming through here. Game wanted me to do one, I got 6 for it, so talk about being overprepared. Alright, let's build this small warehouse up. Trying to get this next piece done by day 30 if we can. We're on day 27. Starting to look like something down there. I see it. Alright. So we'll have a place to store all this lovely stuff here in just a minute. We built a small warehouse. We got to get all these boreal rocks down here to put them in there. We've obtained 10 from different things. There we go. So now we can build housing. Citizens need a roof over their head to keep them safe from the climate, and they can do so in and live in different conditions. Their citizens will go eat, drink, and rest at home, making their home's placement strategically important. When refreshing themselves, citizens can consume food and clean water. These resources are drawn directly from nearby cellars. This is why houses must be set within a cellar's range. As well as setting houses within the right range, if the citizens are able to eat and drink, there must be clean water and food in the cellar. This is why all storage spaces automatically ask for 20 of each resources, so citizens will bring those in. As all resources must be carried between structures by citizens, it's of vital importance to keep a sufficient number of citizens unassigned to any building and therefore available to courier duty. Okay. Now, place the house within the cellar's range. So we gotta build a cellar first of all. We're gonna put that on the outskirts. There. So that goes there. Needs 10 bark, 5 boreal rocks. I'm adoring this so far. I love city builders, and this kind of has its own little identity to it that makes it so interesting. Gotta give credit to the devs and the publisher here. This is a really promising title. It's coming out in Q2 of 2024. We're gonna get through the first cycle, and then I'm gonna wrap up the video. You know, that's a good point to wrap up. Who's to say we can't go ahead and build some housing? Yeah, we know they're missing a cellar. We know. The cellar's still being built. Oh, dingus. No, 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 no. We'll just do that for now. So that's at 80%. This should automatically complete when we have the cellar built. Yeah, okay. Step complete. The supplies we carry with us are dwindling by the day, but picking the region's strange, thorny fruits is risky business, and eating them is even riskier. Before collecting anything, we have to rule out any danger in exporting these plants. Our scientific knowledge is limited, but the old distiller at the Oasis has sufficient equipment to carry out basic chemical experiments. By providing them with a mobile workspace, we can begin our botanical studies. Carrying out environmental analysis thanks to the field lab will allow you to bring to light characteristics of the local fauna, or the flora, I mean. Understanding your environment is the only way to get resources without causing suffering to your citizens or destroying your environment. Harvest actions require a harvest building in order to be communicated to the citizen. When a harvest action is carried out on a plant, that plant switches growth stages rather than being destroyed, making this a more sustainable action. Okay. We need a field lab, we need pickers' cabins, and we need 20 moisture pods, which are in a moisture pod bearing plant. So let's get our... We need a field lab. Put those right next to each other. That makes the most sense. Do you bear moisture pods? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out together. Field lab is done. Let's go and assign a couple of citizens to it. That's almost done. Assign a worker to that. And we're into cycle number 2. I'm guessing that these riverbanks fingers do net moisture pods? No, they don't. They don't? Wow. Okay. We will find that out together later on, but for now, that's going to do it. I will end this here. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on it, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you next time for something else here from See You Next Fest. Thanks for watching.